they will say anybody's the next James Dean, anybody's the next, Marlon Brando. I mean, I was hearing actors who I don't even respect, and they were being considered the next James Dean, the next Marlon Brando. So for somebody to say that to me, it's I can't take it as a serious compliment. I basically, was from the old school of the Actors Studio and really thought it was about recalling and being able to reproduce stuff in the moment that you could tap into that is really real instead of just this, stuff that anybody could do who, pumps a little weights.
I had the opportunity to work with a director who knows about working with actors, and I had the opportunity to work with an actor who is one of the most talented actors that I've ever worked with, Eric Roberts. And so Eric and I were able to, rock and roll with Stewart's direction, and it was a good feeling, the whole thing. And we couldn't have did it unless Vinny wrote a good script, Vinny Patrick, and.
Well, there are a lot of, I was telling Stuart about this, there are a lot of popcorn, let's call them that, popcorn type films out right now. Do you think that's going to help you, that you're a little different? That you're actually about relying on characters and not a soundtrack?
Well, I mean, you got your audience that's going to go see Indiana Jones and all that crap, and so, I think what we did was something that we wanted to do, and the people who like to see a certain kind of movies are going to go see, it's like listening to, what's the guy's name? That's on the soap that sings, Rick Springfield, then listening to Bruce Springsteen, it's like, you know what I'm talking about? All right.
Mickey says that making the Pope of Greenwich Village in 1984 was the happiest time of his life. He had fallen in love with acting, he hadn't given into his demons yet, and he loved working with his co-star, Eric Roberts.
Where are you, Mickey?
In fact, years later, when he was accepting his Independent Spirit Award for The Wrestler, he told all the filmmakers in the room that somebody needs to give Eric Roberts a good role, and he still believes in his talent.
Holy crap. Charlie, they took my thumb. Who did? Man. Who did? It hurt so much.
Paulie, what happened?
The bed bug took my thumb, man.
Oh, no, Jesus Christ, I want to fucking kill him.
No, Chalucha, that guy's a fucking psycho, man. He'll chop you up.
Paulie,
oh, man, it hurts so much.
Paulie, did they give you anything for this?
Yeah.
What did they give you?
Yeah, they gave me this stuff. They gave me this stuff at the hospital. But I took all of it. I've been taking it all day.
You took
and
all
I ain't
of
done
this?
a fucking thing for
You
me.
took all of this?
I took it all, man. Charlie,
Paulie, what can I do for you?
I didn't do nothing,
Paulie, what
man.
can I do for you?
It was my life, man. I didn't want to give the poor bastard up, but it was my life, Charlie. Your Barney ain't family. I don't know him that much.
Okay, Barney, what about me, Paulie? Paulie, I'm family. Did they press you for me?
Yeah, they pressed me. They pressed me hard. They took my thumb, Charlie!
I sort of took it a step at a time, and when I got into the Actors Studio, when Strasberg was still alive, I got in the last, I think, 4 or 5 years before he died.
The movie 1941 is notorious for being director Steven Spielberg's biggest flop, but it was also the movie where Mickey Rourke made his very first screen appearance, so it wasn't a total loss.
Sure!
For the movie Diner, the director Barry Levinson was determined that his cast of young actors have a real rapport with each other, so he brought them out to the location a week beforehand so they could bond. And there was also a special trailer set up called the Camaraderie Camper, where the young men would be sent if they ever got into a little tiff on set.
Another aspect of Mickey, aside from his wonderful talent, that some of you can see, I got to see it very well, is that he's just such a wonderfully sweet person. such a kind and good person, wonderful friend.
You know, he kind of keeps to himself. He's a hard time with relationships, maintaining relationships. He's real single-minded. Some people have said to me, well, do you think he's a jerk? And I'm like, I don't think he's a jerk. People have called him a jerk. I don't think he is. He's just really into his thing, you know?
The erotic thriller 9½ Weeks is one of Mickey's most memorable movies, but it wasn't a happy set. His co-star Kim Basinger was actually quoted as calling him a human ashtray. And the director Adrian Lyne played games with his actors. He wanted to create a real feeling when they had their scenes, so he kept them apart, and he would give notes to Mickey, but not to Kim, so Kim would feel insecure, and when it came time for her big meltdown, she really had a meltdown.
I really have to be honest about this. In the making of 9½ Weeks, it was very difficult for all of us. I think Adrian had trouble at home. I think Mickey had trouble at home. I know that we were crazy.
I just loved the idea of, the idea of being kind of uncivilized for 10 weeks, you know, 9½ weeks, 10 weeks, and throwing everything out of the window.
It is not an easy job. It really isn't, because the movies are very strange anyway. It's only a movie. Many times you can say, it's only my job, it's my movie. 9½ Weeks was altogether a different circumstance.
I was so lucky to have Adrian Lyne as a director. What was interesting is he took the sex and the sensuality of the movie and the obsession that was underneath the obsession. Instead of just showing, you know, he made it mental, and there was a style, a through line. He really put together an intelligent movie.
He's such a fascinating actor to work with. I mean, he's enormous fun, you know, he's just endlessly sort of imaginative, and he would change the dialogue on her and always keep her fresh, you know. She said, it's quite funny, she said it allowed her to be wicked legitimately, through a movie, in other words. The movie managed to catch people's imagination. Certainly in Europe, I mean it played for 7 years in Paris, and it just went on and on and on.
I think the reason I was accepted in Europe as a film actor before I was here, they have a different perspective on acting. I think they have a different understanding. I think in Europe I was more understood.
No, nothing to do. You can talk if you want.
I'd like to say hello to my girlfriend. She's in the hotel room.
Oh.
Terry.
Well, look in that camera. In that camera. Hello.
I'll be home
What are you
soon.
doing in your hotel room? Come on over. It's nice here.
She bought me a birthday present and I didn't like it. She started crying, so I left it there.
Ah, will ein Geburtstagsgeschenk. When is your birthday? 16th of September.
16th.
Also, er hat bald Geburtstag. And how old are you?
She got it early.
Ja, na gut, das ist immer besser. Also, sie will ein Geburtstagsgeschenk kaufen. And how old are you?
34.
Pardon?
34.
34? Also, immerhin. 34. Also, das ist, I don't believe you.
On the 16th.
I don't believe you. Yeah?
Why don't you believe me?
Well, you're looking younger. No? You did a lot of movies in the last time, and you're a big superstar from Hollywood. Is that right?
Everywhere but Hollywood, not really in the States. More or less, I think my work is appreciated in Europe than back in the States.
You got some trouble with the people in Hollywood.
Yeah, I really don't have too much respect for the type of movies they do there. That's mainly what it is. And you know, everybody wants you to kiss their ass there, and I refuse to do that.
Ihm weitergeben sollen.
Wie viele Filme hat Mickey Rourke schon gedreht?
How many movies did
maybe anywhere from 8 to 10.
8 oder 10? 8 oder 10? Hast du schon einige
Wie
verpasst?
war das mit Robert De Niro zu drehen?
Oh, how is it
Wie
to
war
work
das?
with Robert De Niro? Who is Robert De Niro?
Wow.
I don't even think Robert De Niro knows. It was nice working with him because there's not too many actors that work in the way he does, or that I am not crazy about working with him, and he made me have to concentrate, you know.
Yeah. You've worked with some actors, some girl actors. Which one was your favorite actor?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Beruhigt das Sie? Ja? War das, was Sie erwartet haben? Wow. Also, Angel Heart, der neue Film von Mickey Rourke, bei uns heute Gast im Studio.
That was one of the two movies that I did that I would consider commercial at the time. One was Year of the Dragon, the other was Angel Heart. Positive of it was we had Alan Parker, who did a great rewrite on the novelist's original.
I'm learning a lot about myself, you know, just exploring different areas that I've, you know, never would have thought of. And the funniest thing is that I can get away with it because I'm playing Epiphany, but what I'm really doing is finding out more about myself.
Before accepting the role, which does contain some rather controversial scenes, Lisa talked with her TV boss, Bill Cosby, about taking the job.
I said it's very controversial, and there's some nudity in it. I have the script here if you'd like to read it. I would like to do it. What do you think? And that was it. And he said, you know, I realize that this is just a job, Cosby, and I know that all the kids can be erased just like that, because that's how this business is, and it's called The Cosby Show. And if this is what you need to do, go right ahead.
So she took the role and has impressed virtually everyone, including the star of the film, who was one of the most highly regarded acting talents on the screen today, Mickey Rourke.
I was very happy to work with her because she never did anything like this before, and it was a very hard role for her to do, and she helped me out because she was so good, you know, and she made my job easier. I really mean it. The girl's got a lot more talent than I think people in the industry have any idea.
Bill Cosby came out and I think made some comments about her doing such a role, and he's got a big influence in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't real positive here. Very few people know that boxing was my first profession, but I stopped it after doing it for 6 years because I had a concussion, 2 concussions.
I have a picture from my fight. You want to see that?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Beating the shit out of Steve Powell. Notice the veins exploding in the neck. I was gasping for air. I had a cigarette in the dressing room before I went on.
I needed to break my nose again. I needed to get in there like 2 months ago with the champion of the world, spar with him, and he shattered my cheekbone. I needed it for me to go, okay, wait a minute, my time as a fighter is over. The dream is over.